Oh, and there's, I think
Hi,
that's Jeff.
Dave. I'm promoting you to panelist, so you can turn on your video if and when you want to. And Mike, I'll promote you to panelist as well. And also turn on your video
We went back to his car.
when you wish to. Brandon, you're a panelist.
doing well? Oh, he's coming in through, okay, because he kept going back and forth.
And yeah, Jeff is just pulled in.
And then I would suggest that you might just have Ted sit at the table with you.
Yeah.
So he can be visible. You don't have to worry about cameras.
Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah, and sitting at that table, he seems so far away anyway.
If
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I'm not an hour early this time, am I?
Yes.
Hey, Jeff.
Wait,
Recording in progress.
Dave, Brandon, Mike, you should be able to unmute yourself and turn on and off on your own. There you go. Perfect.
Thanks.
okay.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, just holler when you're done, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Yep.
Longest minute ever, come in. Oh, it is one, okay, just turn. Welcome to the LASA Operations Committee meeting October 9th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Let's bring this meeting to order. And Ryan, would you please call the roll?
Sure, Gary,
Present.
Arms,
Here.
Eagles here, Doherty,
Here.
roll call I have, who else is here?
Yeah, well,
Yes,
also we have,
The roll call I have on my sheet.
you know, we need to get something clarified with who the members are on the LASA Operations Committee, because Jess said there's only 3 by article, but then we have 4, and then we have Mike and Dave, and then I know Lisa from the other HOA is part of the email thread, so email group, I mean. So anyways,
Mike Lewis is present.
yeah, Mike
Okay.
and
Yeah,
is Dave Fisher.
present.
Fisher's here, yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay, adoption of the agenda. One item, and I did have this, we talked about this and I did put it into the agenda. I thought I hadn't, because I didn't have the attachment at the time, Operations Committee duty. So this is what Andrea and I worked on for our little subcommittee last meeting that, anyway, so this is, you have a copy, we just gave that to you, and we'll go from there when we get to that point. But other than that, for everything that I had included attachments and whatnot should be there. So if there's anything else that you want to include.
To move the agenda, I would say as presented, it's just attachment to the thing that's already on the agenda.
Yeah, true. One thing, Andrea, you have a LAIA report?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
do.
let's put that under, excuse me, reports after,
G3.
yeah.
Okay.
And should we include that, you meet once a month?
Once a month except for August and December.
Okay, so then, our next meeting, what did we say, November 13th, would you have a meeting?
Yeah,
Okay.
there will be a meeting, but the question is, will it be before or after this meeting?
Oh,
Let me check.
well, how about if I just in the agenda always have LAIA report, and then
Okay.
if you have one or not, at least we don't forget.
Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
There's a motion to adopt the agenda as amended by myself,
Second.
Arms, thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, correspondence is received, so Neil Garrell has, emailed a couple of times, and he has some information that could be helpful, and I guess, maybe could make bullet points for the next time. But I guess we could review some of, or what he has said, and then also one from Rob Pattinson, and Rob had two questions, at the end of his, what relief venting or safety measures do the engineers at F&B recommend to add to the sewer lines to prevent sewage from filling residents' basements in the future? And are one-way valves at each home an option to prevent backflow into the basements? So if we could possibly answer those, and then Neil has, what is the lead level in our water supply from our 3 wells? Current federal and state definition of danger levels of lead. Advice to customers on how to avoid impact of ingesting lead from water supply. What filters are effective in homes to maximize the protection from lead? And Brandon and I had talked about having more information on our website. I know there's some, but, having it condensed, so people could, have that in what, filters and whatnot. So I think that we could add that to, a task. And then his other. Yet another.
Yeah, from Bruce Lowe. There's,
Yeah, and there's also one from the last meeting. My gosh, I've got a frog in my throat.
from Neil, yes.
Oh, and then the ops committee should be aware of delinquent customer accounts and cut off service and have liens on property when appropriate. Yeah.
It's already done.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since Colleen took over from White Hill.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great. Hopefully, Neil.
Service isn't cut off, but liens are assessed, and basically if somebody doesn't pay their utility bill for over 120 days, when the tax bill goes out, it's added to the tax bill.
Okay.
Recover it that way.
All right. Anything about correspondences? No?
No, not, just one quick thing, I don't know, maybe Andrea does, I don't know if there's any support from the county health department with regards to water testing, or if the residents can take their own, get a sample taken and have it taken into the county.
Washington County does have lead and copper sampling
Yeah.
testing available. They do blood testing, and they also do testing of fixtures, with the small bottles.
Yeah. Yeah, so we might you know, we might offer that or just give that information to the residents. So if they have concerns, then they could do some of that.
Right.
That's someplace to turn to. I mean, they do that for radon too. I mean, they had radon kits that they gave out. I don't think it's a bad thing. It just gives them an avenue of someplace to go.
Right, the source water has no lead in it. The lead, you know, is from basically old copper pipes and, you know, old fixtures or.
In people's houses.
In people's houses.
Yeah,
And the solder,
The,
sometimes.
the federal limit, you know, as they say, there's no safe limit for lead, but the federal limits, just going down. Currently, the one for the state of Michigan is 12 is the action limit. And you're stuck between
12 parts per billion too.
12,
Yeah.
yeah, 12 parts per billion. You're stuck between, you know, the targets being 0, but getting to 0 is really hard. So right now, the action limit is 12 because that's what you're shooting for, because getting to 0 is really hard. But you're still trying to, you know, say that, you know, there's no safe levels of lead, you know.
But
one of those
it's possible.
contradictory things.
it's possible if
In the-
people if they find that there is some stuff that they could put something on the fixture to limit the lead from that line.
There's Brita filters out
Yeah,
there
that kind of
that,
stuff.
yeah, that you can get at the
Yep.
store.
Yep.
That, you know, have ratings on them for removing lead. You just have to be vigilant about changing them out.
Right.
Hmm.
I just think it would be a good resource to give them.
Okay.
So they could look into that.
I would imagine if a homeowner had an RO system installed in their,
It would do it.
that would do it as
Yeah,
well.
too. Yes, there are
You
treatment
did-
systems that would, yeah, knock it down.
Mhm.
Okay, that's all I have for
It-
correspondence.
Okay,
It seems like we're kicking around kind of the whole idea of some kind of communication to the users that would have multiple elements to it. You know, number one, you know, your point, source water doesn't have it, and then here's where it comes up. And then if, you know, here's some resources available, which would include detailed instructions on how to sample, because that can have a big impact on the result. You know, whether you want to get into, to me, it's like, if you want to filter anything, it's the drinking water, right? That's another part of communication. You're not going to get this exposure from breathing the vapors in a shower, unlike radon. So and I'm not doing the thing right now, but I just said this is kind of the general broad document, I guess, that we're starting to discuss.
Mhm.
Rob?
Oh, no, that's,
That's David
David,
Fisher.
Dave
Okay,
Fisher.
okay. Hi, Dave. Okay. Yes,
Yeah, um. Yeah, just, you know, more education.
yeah, more
and
resources.
resources and,
I mean, it's in people's houses, it looks like a lot of this is, so. They need to
Yeah,
know
and
that.
it has to coordinate with what the state puts out, because the state gets really touchy when you don't match their stuff for, yeah, for messaging.
I would hope the county messaging
County has, you know, a very good
is equal
department,
to the state,
right, yes,
so.
yeah.
great, okay. All right,
As far as Mr. Patterson goes,
Mm.
we don't have any current contracts with the F&B engineering group.
regarding,
He mentioned, and you know, I don't know if he, I may be reading his email wrong, but he was mentioning engineers in F&B.
Yeah.
We don't have any contracts with the engineering group from F&B. We have an engineer, but we haven't changed the ordinance recently, and our ordinance, you know, basically, we have some things that we've passed, but inspections are done by Washtenaw County, not by us, for houses.
Is it Sauer Township that does the inspections or?
For-
Washtenaw County,
And what, for inspections for what? I'm sorry.
Venting and safety measures, you know, that's basically, I believe that's in the county code, not in our code.
Oh, I see. So, so there are no relief venting or safety measures to add to the sewer lines? Or,
It's not in our code right now. Those issues are
so there's
not in our,
options?
yeah, there are options. Currently, we have a small ordinance, and then the rest is due to SIO policy, and then SIO has their policy, and then the rest is taken care of by Washtenaw County. And the stuff not taken by Washtenaw County is under the Michigan Plumbing Code. You know, there's this
Yeah.
staggered level of authority. And at our level, you know, we don't have, you know, what Mr. Patterson is asking for.
So is that different than, backflow prevention
Backflow
or back?
you can use a backflow preventer, you know.
I think there's some code issues that we would, plumbing code issues that we need to be aware of for that as well.
Right.
Right.
The Michigan code talks about like, if you have a floor above the manhole, it can't go through a backflow preventer. If you have a floor below the elevation of the manhole, it can. So there's some plumbing, and that's why, I guess that's where I was going for Scioto Township, if they're the plumbing, and or Webster Township, right? If they're the plumbing inspector, that kind of needs to go through them too.
It's
It's
Washtenaw
the county.
County.
Is it Washtenaw County?
Yep.
You know, so there's, you know, for our commercial, and I'm sure it's true for other places, our commercial, they have backflow preventers, and then I think it's once a year or once every
That's
couple
on
of
the
years.
water system, right?
Yes, that's on the
It's
water system.
It's not the sewer. I thought it was the sewer.
No, there's a RPZ or a backflow preventer. So anything that happens in the commercial building can't get back into the distribution system. of the
Oh,
water-
okay.
Water, so.
Cause it can't
That's
bring
different.
contaminants
So like
back. That's what
on a sewer
Right,
system, that
okay.
backflow prevention would stop sewage from coming back into the house, in theory, right? But there's
But that's
some
different
plumbing
code.
code issues.
Yes.
And could a homeowner install that for their, I bet they'd have to go through just like whatever else they do for building.
Yeah.
Okay, but is that something that we could impose?
Well, this.
That's really-
I don't know, I think the general ownership is that the LASA owns the mains, right? And that
Yeah, true, that's right.
So that'd be part of that service league.
But
right,
it-
versus-
I mean, again, a recommendation is it may not be bad to recommend people look to see if they have them. I mean, and understand that having one might protect you from something like this. You know, a backup or whatnot. And they're not, you can't use them. I mean, there's certain situations, like if you have an older house, they probably have, you know, a U or whatnot in the drain. And that's what keeps the sewer gases out, but, I mean, on a floor drain, but that's not gonna keep a backup out.
Hmm.
So if they've got a lift pump, it would have a backup, but, I mean, backflow preventer, but those floor drains may not,
Hmm,
so.
okay,
But I mean, again, it's in their house. This is something that
they would have to do.
they need to look into,
Yeah,
yes. But it doesn't hurt to bring it up to people because out of sight, out of mind, you generally don't. When there's stuff you do every day or you look at every day, you may not even think about it
right.
until somebody brings it up or something happens. And unfortunately, that's, you know, that's when you get the idea that, hey, I should have that looked at because now I have a problem.
But I mean, they can stop water too, though, right? They can get gummed up, they can, you
Yep.
know,
Yes.
they can fail, they have to be maintained.
Yeah.
It's not, you know.
Or somebody sends for instance, they send a rotter down there because they don't realize that there's a backflow preventer and now they've ripped it apart.
Oh,
So, I mean, some of them could have it, but if they ever got rotted out, they probably destroyed
That's
it.
part of, why the plumbing code, the Michigan general code, it says, you know, if your floor is above the manhole cover, you shouldn't do it. right?
Yeah, there's issues with them too. You just gotta be careful with them.
interesting. Okay, well, I guess that's it for, unless there's something else in.
Trap.
You.
Well, let's move on to public comment. And this is the time for members of the public to speak to the LASA Operations Committee for up to 5 minutes on any item on the agenda. And generally, we begin with anybody present. We don't have anybody present, so let's see if anybody is online. Hopefully I can do this right without screwing up the whole.
Jillian, is it possible to make Colt a panelist as well? He should be in there.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yep, there he is. Going to his list. Okay, I don't see anyone other than our committee. Yep, there's nobody here for public comment. And everybody should be able to unmute themselves and speak. Oh, is that Cole?
That's Colt.
Hello.
Hey. All right, no public comments. So the next is approval of the minutes from possible action September 11th, 2025 meeting minutes, the draft. And Andrea, you created these minutes the last time.
Right. Let me know if I left something out.
Good job.
Except for my name spelled wrong.
It is?
Oh,
No E.
Oh, okay.
thanks for catching that.
Makes me seem like a messenger. Three gods.
Oh, yeah.
Armies.
I apologize.
That's okay. It's not the first time that it's happened, not that you've done it.
Move the minutes as amended.
Yeah, and there's one more amendment at the end. It says motion to adjourn 351 Harvey's.
All right, yes.
Yeah, there's
Just go through the whole
There's
document.
3 ultimate misspellings. It's on the members attending up at the top, and then motion to adopt the minutes with
Right,
amendments.
okay.
And then
I think everyone where I'm involved,
everyone where he's involved.
Yeah.
Okay,
so just correct every one of those.
Okay, and there is a motion by Yeaple, and is there support?
Second,
Okay, all in favor of adopting the amended minutes for September 11th, 2025? Say aye.
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 Motion passes, or minutes are adopted. Thank you. Oh, okay, Michael just tagged saying he's stuck in a meeting. He'll be here as soon as he can. Just, I don't think he has much to contribute, but just in case. All right, on to report. So this is we'll begin with operations. Brandon Damon from F&B, and of course, Cole, you can chime in anytime if you have anything.
Yes, thank you. I only have about 10 minutes. And then if Colt can answer a question, if not, he'll take notes and I'll get you an answer. But I think we've gotten 1 bid back so far on biosolids, and we're still waiting on those. We do have 2 quotes for recommendations for well number 1 and 3 flow meter and piping. I was working on the report today, and I would recommend that we maybe budget for some of those items. I know they're kind of pricey.
is it the head or is it the whole meter?
The whole meter. The whole meter. And there's some well 3's got some plastic pipe in there. So they kind of recommended to maybe swap that out to something different at the same time. We also had the SO2, the sulfur dioxide sensor for the sulfur dioxide that monitors for safety reasons. That failed. And talking with Jillian, because it is kind of a safety thing in an emergency, we moved forward and they ordered it. I talked to him on the 6th and he had not gotten the part yet. And as soon as he gets the part, he's going to get it scheduled for install.
And who is that again, Brandon?
RF Technical.
RF Technical, okay, great.
And I also emailed Steve DeWolf today on the valve on Green Nook to get a formal quote from him, as well as the 2 manholes, the one on East Lock Alpine that needs to be raised up, and then there's one on Northgate and Joy that's got some damage to the top. It sticks out of the ground. Some concrete work on that. Because I've texted him, called him, and haven't got a lot of response out of him. So I sent him an email today, as well as Ted gave me contact information for another person that we might be able to use if we don't get a response out of DeWolf.
Okay,
Cummins has also recommended battery replacement on the generator for the water plant, I believe. And that was a couple $100. So the next time if you guys want to move forward with that, the next time they come out to do their service, they'll swap that battery out as well. And Colt has been, since Lead and Copper, we said we were going to move right into meter replacements. Colt got 1 done today.
2.
And I think he's got you. How many more you got scheduled, Colt?
I have 18 more that I have work orders on, but I believe that there's more. We just did more meter reads, and some of them are in alarm. Some of the ones that got replaced, I'm not sure. I haven't messed with those yet. I'm not sure why we're not getting some of the reads on those. So once I get these replaced, that's kind of the next step, is seeing if we can get 100%. But
Yeah, we'll wait for Michael on that and see if he said it sounded okay.
He accepted those meter reads, but there was I think we were at 87%, and there was probably 60 or some that wouldn't read. Which I have 18 work orders, and so I'm not sure on those other ones. It says alarm on the census thing.
And
so
that might be because some of those meters, I don't know if that whatever read file Michael uses, the meters that we replaced with the 100 or so, I think we replaced, those may have been still in that read file. So that might be why. It just all depends on Michael would be able to tell us.
Okay.
For
And then
sure.
I'm gonna get with him also, because some of those work orders that I have, quite a few of them, I don't have contact information. So, and knocking on doors, I try to knock on doors, but it'd be easier to have email, phone number. So I will get with him on the rest of those work orders.
Thank you. And that's really all I have.
Can we get briefly back to, the flow meters replacement? When's your next sanitary survey?
I think we got 2 or 3 years.
Sorry, that didn't come through.
I'd have to look back in.
oh, say that again, Brandon, it was a little choppy.
I think we've got 2 or 3 years before our next sanitary survey.
Okay, so that means you have some time to replace those flow meters. Are you reporting via time and gallons per minute for those wells?
For only well number 3. Well number 1 actually works. But what we actually have multiple flow meters. So inside the plant as well, we have a raw meter and an effluent meter that's brand new. We're using those numbers as what's going to the system, but we're calculating well 3. Well number 1 still does work. The report that Northern gave us on well number 1 that the flow meter didn't work, that was incorrect. Colt checked on that and it is working.
It just only runs on Wednesdays. when it backflows, it's like a secondary lag. When the system needs more, that will be the last one to kick on. So that's usually the only time it will kick on is Wednesdays.
Okay, So you got a couple of years, so it's an automatic deficiency for not having, you know, a flow meter working, you know, that's supposed to be working, so. You got, if it's 2 years before the next sanitary survey. Then, you know, we have a little bit of time before this has to be replaced.
Yes, and we have two quotes. We have a quote for each one of those. I don't have them up in front of me at the moment. And I think the well 3 was the most expensive one, if I remember right.
Okay, so well, number 1 does need the flow meter to be replaced, just for clarification here.
I
Or
not immediately, but I would recommend that we do that one as well as well 3. Because they are pretty old and the piping is not in the greatest of shape.
oh,
There's mention of corrosion in the letter from Northern Pipe and well.
so at this point, it looked, well, in agreement that the flow meters and piping need to be replaced for 1 and 3. But you're saying it's an expensive project, so we would have to look at the budget?
That's what I'm recommending.
Okay,
Well, you know, you could get a 4-inch meter for, you know, $3,000, but but that's the easy part. You know, you got couplings and it has to, you know, make sure it's full, that it fits the piping, et cetera, et cetera.
So
Installation.
I know I shared these with Jillian and we can share them with everybody. Just the well 3 piping and flow meter is 19,000 or just over 19,000, almost 20,000. And I believe well 3, because I don't, or well 1, pardon me, well 1 was around 6,000.
Is this
So-
for SCADA, with SCADA read on it?
Well 3 will have, actually both of them will have a 4 to 20 output. It's whether we choose to hook them up to SCADA or not. We would have to have UIS do that after the fact.
That'd be fine. You know, just have them do it the next time they come in.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
okay, that's Michael's waiting to be, I think he's waiting to be let into Teams. I
So
did-
that's
Okay,
that's really all I have. I have to pop off. So if you have any other questions, Colt can take some notes and we'll answer them after the fact if that's all right.
sure, thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ted, do you have our budget, or Ryan? Of it, either one of you have it available?
I don't right now, no.
Okay,
I can probably get to it in a moment.
okay, thank you. And we can check, because I know there's money set aside for maintenance and repairs for both water and sewer.
Mhm.
But if I remember correctly, they're both around 19,000. And
Do one this year and one next year.
So I have a question for Colt, since you're here.
Yes, sir.
These manholes that we're talking about, I saw the picture. Is that a picture of just one or is that multiples?
The one that's raised,
Yeah,
that's a picture of just one. I just went around it. On that one, I don't know why it was built so high.
yeah, that was a question that I had. Why is it so high?
Yeah, so I opened it up and the inside of the manhole is actually in really good shape. It's just the exterior structure there. And the manhole still sits above grade to where it's not getting rainwater or anything to leak into it. So if possible, we could just knock a few layers of those, it doesn't have to be rebuilt as high, just a couple layers.
There's another high one on Eagle Trail by the Lower Lake, actually.
Eagle Tree.
But yeah,
is it in bad shape?
no, it isn't.
Well,
It's-
when you see these, it's usually because they didn't finish the grading. They either
Oh.
leave them up high and then they didn't do the grading, or they had the wrong, elevation for it and never corrected it. That's one of the reasons why I'm wondering, because yeah, when you're exposed to elements like that, there's no reason to leave them high unless they were getting water in it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I wouldn't want to have to mow around it and do all that extra, and to rebuild it, you're rebuilding something that's not needed. So
So the second one, is that in the road or is that in the green space, green
I,
belt?
I actually didn't.
The one
see-
in East Lock
I didn't see a
Alpine that's
picture.
buried, that's on East Lock Alpine, by the lower lake. Between Prospect and the lower lake.
It's in the
And
road.
it's in the road, it's, yeah, Brandon went and metal detected it, and it's under the asphalt.
We have any idea how far under the asphalt
No.
it is?
Yeah,
When
he talked about, what's it called, a riser?
I did a riser ring, yeah, it's
Riser
possible.
ring, yeah.
It depends on the elevation, what they did, if they paved, if they chip coated, I mean, you don't know how much distance you got until you dig it out.
Well, I don't think it's covered.
Sounds like it's covered.
It is covered?
It's covered.
And it was,
Use metal detector, yeah.
yeah, I think a resident emailed about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Tom
then there was,
Belisario told us it was there.
yes, there was no picture. He didn't have a.
He didn't have
Or
a, he had a location, but he didn't have a local picture. I tried, there's nothing really to take a picture of except for a faint crack that's, an arc shape. So it doesn't make a good picture. I tried taking a picture of it and it was crap, so.
Okay.
And I went, well, is this arc real or not? And, Brandon said he ran a metal detector on it and it was, it showed metal.
Prospect.
Okay.
The valve that's leaking, how long's that been leaking now?
years.
I've been there. Well, I guess I did weekend rounds since last winter. I spoke with Andy. They had to, because I wanted to find out more information on it. They had to turn water off for some reason. I'm not sure why. And then whenever they did that incident and turned it off and on, then that's when it started leaking. So I can get you, and I'll write down a note. I'll get you an exact date on that. But it's been a little bit. It seemed like it was just a slow trickle at first. Like you could just see a wet spot.
A
But
drip
now
or
it's-
something?
Yeah, it's
Tom said both.
sometimes those will kind of seal them back up with just the water running by them. It will just collect in there. But yeah, that one's actually gotten a little bit worse. I sent Brandon another picture today of it.
Yeah.
Tom
Where's that?
Belisario says it's been leaking on and off for a couple of years, and basically they'd go and, work it and get it to stop, and work it and get it to stop, and
Correct.
it's not
It's
working.
not fully
anymore.
seating.
It's not fully seating anymore.
So
Correct.
didn't we just have a leak somewhere fixed? I thought there was one that,
There was one, I think,
By the plant.
the plan, yes,
okay, so this is a different leak.
yes.
Okay.
This is Green Nook and
Green Nook.
and West Lock.
It's Black Alpine,
And it's curb box, right? I mean, it's
Yes, it's
it's
curb
a box.
yes.
Almost everything up there is a box.
There will just have to be some coordination
boxes.
going into it because
They're
if,
cheaper.
I was talking to an operator today who hates gate wells.
Really?
we will just have to coordinate it in advance because I don't have the map with me. I will get with Brandon before I speak out of turn here.
Do we know if,
We may have to do a shutdown
Well,
of.
Yes, we were talking of boil water advisory last
Correct,
meeting.
correct. So yeah, I just want to make sure we're ahead of that before we when we get a date to do that.
do we know if the valves on either side of that work?
No, that's a good question.
Might end up replacing multiple valves on this.
The water main down Green Nook was new in 2015. The water main at West Lock Alpine is, I think, part of the original installation, so. Or 2017, I don't remember which. circa.
Right,
And we look to DeWolf to do these, usually.
that's what, Brandon, yeah, I sent it.
Do we have generic cost for him to do valve replacement or raise up manholes or no? Get a
Not
quote
of
from him
my
every
knowledge.
time.
And I guess that's a question I have of the board. This is probably a question I should have for Brandon, but are we allowed to use other contractors? Because sometimes I'm just stepping into it. To get other work done, sometimes it seems tough to get contractors out there when there's, if we can get other quotes, if we, reasonable quotes, can we get other people out?
Sure.
Okay,
What Brandon, and I think the answer is yes, but what Brandon has said is that Steve can be difficult to plan. But when Steve DeWolf can be difficult to you need to do this on Tuesday or whatever next week, but when there's an emergency, he's there. So
Right.
you're kind of, the good and the bad, right?
right.
Bottom line is, we probably can, and it wouldn't hurt to possibly get some quotes, get another firm that can come do something if we need it done. And if Steve's got an issue, to have somebody to fall back on, or to have basically a pool of people or companies that we could do this with. And I'm thinking that maybe get quotes or just prices from, maybe we look at getting some contractors online and say, give us a price for raising up a manhole, just a generic. Let's say that there is 4 inches of or asphalt put on it. Let's give us a price for raising that up. Give us a price for replacing a valve. Those kind of things. They can
Yes,
give us
sir.
a generic price for it, and then we can go back on them on emergencies. We're gonna need something like that anyways. If we go on this valve turning thing, we're definitely gonna need people online, because we can't sit there and have somebody say, I'm too busy or I'm on a job. We're gonna need that to happen.
100%.
So, yeah, I'm not against that. I'm not against it both for maintenance and for TVing or cleaning. I mean, the same thing. If somebody's not available, having a couple TV contractors online wouldn't hurt.
And and emergency response. I
Exactly.
mean, you got to have a fail safe to the fail safe.
Yep. I think that's all something that we really need to look at, and you had brought up, there's a couple different firms or whatnot. I can think of a few myself that can do
Yeah.
that. So
Have a backup plan just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt.
Mm-mm. And I think that's just part of it. Are we finished with, the conversation about the manholes and the valves?
I think so.
Okay, Cole, while you're here, I just want to clarify, you said that, you're in the process of, meter replacement, which is great. And you have 18, we have 18 on the shelf that we could replace right now.
Oh, how many? So I will get you a number on that.
Yeah, I thought we had 22 at one time, but then some were
He has
replaced.
18 work orders, is what he said earlier.
Correct. I have 18 work orders from Michael which I can forward that email to Brandon to get to you guys, of ones that are on a list. I'm not sure where this list came from or how it was, these ones must not be reading is what I'm assuming. So I am slowly contacting, trying to get I did 2 today. I'm going to try to get 2 more tomorrow. So within the next month, I can probably get those knocked out. It's just really contacting people and
Yeah.
setting up times to where it works for everyone.
And then you said there's 60 that wouldn't read, and those are all, they're not the new one. There's no new Metron meters in that 60, right?
I do not know. That is probably, I don't even know who Michael is. I've never met the man. I just know him through email or, that's who I email. That is probably a question for him.
Okay,
Because I just get some of them have a little pencil mark there that says manual read only, and then some say like alarm. So I guess I don't know exactly what that means. I know it won't read through it won't take the read off my census device.
Okay,
The Metrons are not census,
right, so
they're
I miss-
cellular.
yeah, so then I'm assuming that the 60 that won't read are the old, the census, okay. I didn't wanna,
What Brandon said is, so there's a file that they push out for that reader. And if that file is not cleaned up with some of the ones that have been replaced, you might get that error.
oh,
Right, because you're telling it to read something that's not there anymore, so that might be part of the errors between the 60 and the 18 anyway, so that's
Okay.
kind of what I heard Brandon say.
okay,
That
If
that's,
that makes any sense.
yeah, that does make sense, okay.
Figure it out. And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, if Michael was on, that would, I think he would.
Yeah,
say yeah.
is-
or
did
no.
he-
I sent him the agenda when he
Okay,
said join this.
I think he should just be able to log in, well, I don't know, to be a participant,
I'm sorry, I took a picture of it before I sent it to him. So I have, there's a total of 561 in the system of the file that I got sent. It says 480 were visited, which is 86%. Completed out of those, I have 457 out of 561, that's 81%. And 30 out of 561, which is 5%, have alarms. And then at the bottom, it says non-route entries 20. I don't know if you can, so I don't know if you can.
That's not like, I'm very
So
sorry.
that's what I sent to him.
okay. All right, well,
That helps at all.
well, ask Michael, he's. Yeah, and, so you don't know how many we have on hand, because it seemed like we had 22, was it last year? Or, remember when we hired that company to change them out, and then we had extras that as they, and. But,
Yes, I can get you an exact number on those. Those are the ones I'm working out of now. I would probably say, so I would probably have 20 left. Half of them are irrigation, which are, they're 7-inch, and then half of them are for the standard house. So I probably have 10 and 10. I will, that's a rough guess. I will type a note here and get you a number to Brandon.
yeah, okay, because we'll have to order more, as there's just gonna be more and more that fail, and we, if I remember correctly, we can't have a large inventory, because as soon as we acquire them, we start paying, like a subscription.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
so we
For the
only wanna
cellular.
have so many on hand at a time, but. Yeah, well, we'll get that clarified with Michael. Thank you, Cole.
you're welcome.
Anything else for Cole at this time? No? Okay, Ted. You are G2.
You're up then. So I guess basically it's kind of rehashing what we talked about Monday. We're still working on the generator stuff for well house 2. I expect that to be done soon here. We can again review that with Cole, Brandon, get that ready for a bid. What else did I say on that day?
GIS.
GIS, we just got approved and, I haven't entered their project. I did let, Chip, the guy who's gonna do it, know, and he's probably a couple weeks before he can start, so. We should have something prepared this fall.
And then there's the water tower.
Yeah, the water tower was approved, so.
Right.
And you have.
I
those
have
contracts.
I do have a question on the GIS. Is that, so that census thing that reads the meter also has a GIS system in there? Would that be compatible to where you could take that meter and the map and take it in the field to where you could see the GIS on it?
Don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what that meter looks like. So for your phone, there's an app called Field Data Manager that you'd log into. That would have the GIS on it for sure. If you can do something like that on that census device, then yes, but.
Okay, thank you.
Because I don't have anything else, Julian. I mean, that's.
All right.
Kind of simple this time.
Yeah.
So the GIS, as you're going to be implementing that whole process, and as you go, will you be sharing or where you are in those steps and?
Sure, I mean, we can, but what we would do is we build it and then say, all right, let's get you guys to order the license when it's just about done, then push it off to that license, so.
Okay,
I'm not sure how much I can share without the license at that point in time. I
Okay.
can find that out too. I don't know exactly the mechanism of how they do that. I know we probably have licenses that we probably build it on our system and then move it to your license at some point. That's created, but there's no sense in buying the license if you can't use it for 3 months, right? So-
right, yeah. All right. I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's really gonna help. Thanks, Ted. Oh, okay, now we're to G3.
Okay, the LAIA meeting was yesterday. Lucy said that Andrea Lukens retained a lawyer. The roads committee was quite excited about the GIS project and would really like, a viewer license so they could, make sure our stuff, they keep track of it. And they thought that was a great idea. And there was a long conversation about one of the residents complaining about the smell from the wastewater treatment plant and the fact that, we cut down a bunch of greenery and suddenly it was no longer out of sight, out of mind. And we're getting complaints again. So there was a brief discussion about maybe planting some more greenery. And then it got tabled because, that is the whole discussion on its own. And the easement there, because there's, past the wastewater treatment plant, there's a, an easement that belongs to LAIA. And they're trying to, decide if they wanted to plant something there or just leave it up to, what's already planted on the LASA wastewater treatment plant property. And that was about it.
So Andrea, when's the next paving project?
I don't know. It's, they do 1/6 a year, so it'll be probably June or July, because that's usually when they do it.
Okay. So we got about a year to get ahead of it. It would be nice to know what their 6th is that they're planning.
Right. Okay,
So then we can, hopefully we'll have, we might have something together in the system by then. But yeah,
I would think early next year at the latest.
we want to avoid paving over. And,
Yeah.
on top of that, that they need to look at, as part of, the paving, raising up. So that should be part of the paving, uncovering and raising up.
Right.
That shouldn't be something that we keep having to back up and find these, so. So yeah, we just need to work with LAIA and coordinate that. When are you gonna do it? Here's our system. Let's talk about it.
Is there a map to show what they have done in the past and then what needs to be done?
Yeah, they
moving
probably have
forward? But again, I was thinking, whatever the
That's
pave.
in Bob Sender's head, isn't it?
Is
Yes,
it?
Yeah.
it's in
Oh, is
Bob's
it?
head.
Okay, because then we could go back to what was done the past couple of years and match it with our manholes. At least get ahead on that. I think probably,
Well, and honestly, following up on that is not that hard. It's only gonna be a couple manholes, and if you know where they're at, they're either uncovered or not.
I mean, there's still things they can do to make it easier for, there's like the plastic things you put over the manhole.
Oh, yeah.
Just pull it off and it's like,
Plates or
yeah. I mean,
whatever.
It's,
And you need to make sure that they're covered so they're not getting asphalt in the holes and all the other stuff, so you can't open them. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot of,
so chip seal doesn't get on the curb boxes.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
do they use the same company every time? Do you know, or do they go out for bid each?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, because if it's the same company, then.
I just wanna be prepared the next time it happens, that we're not keep going into the same thing,
Okay,
so.
feel like that's a discussion we've been having for years.
Probably.
Anything else, Andrea?
No, that was it.
Should be a feel bad, really.
Brian, did you find that budget?
No, and
Okay.
remember last time we ran into this issue?
Yeah.
It needed to be shared and I don't have it.
Okay, yeah, we need to have it accessible and,
Should be posted, but
well,
requires a
yeah, and it's something that I think we should look at. It's been brought up about the 3 different pages or 4 different pages for LASA, and Michael has the LASAwater.org that, you know, it's its own, and we could, you know, have different pages on there.
I finally found it. This
Okay.
is from the auditors, but it's I put it down. Yeah, maybe now. Draft financial statement. There we go. So this is just the financial statements, though. This does not have a budget. This is what we spend, what we have in reserves.
It's not broken down like
It's
the
not
capital.
budgeted.
Okay,
Like capital improvement, no. So yeah, you would have to ask Colleen. Yeah, Michael's on now. He might.
Oh, he is on?
I don't know if
Okay.
he is or not.
Oh, did
Can't
he?
tell from down here.
He didn't, okay, well, I know it was in one of our, was that June? It was June 16th. It was in that,
It's not, it was on the agenda. There was no attachment.
oh,
added.
because Colleen had,
It's here. Yep.
yeah, I think we had the capital improvement. Okay, well, we'll get that, okay, we'll have to figure it out to get it up on the website so we can all look at it. And I'll send it out to everybody so you can put it on your computer somewhere, or it's hard to print off because you have the different tabs. Yeah, because they will help us then whenever there's, oh, we have this expenditure, do we have the money set aside for it? Instead of scrambling every time. Okay, let's go on to unfinished business, cleaning and televising companies quotes. And I think this is a task item that we were talking about because I have nothing else with it.
This is really just a carry on what we just talked about
Yeah.
with Colt. I mean, the bottom line is getting cleaning and televising companies or some maintenance companies online that we can utilize. And instead of just having one, we have some backups. So I don't think it hurts. There's a bunch of cleaning and televising companies out there. So.
Cole, are you still on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, well, I guess talk with Brandon, the 2 of you, just, you know, with it, especially the cleaning and televising, companies have a list of them. And then what was the other for emergencies, but this cleaning tech, because this has come up recently and it's been a hot topic. And we did it, I think F&B did that, back in 2023 for that one section, but the other, who's the other one? Oh, shoot, it just slipped my mind.
At M&K, they had a
Oh.
quote from M&K that for
Yes,
one visit system.
yeah, we had the one quote for 51 or
54,000.
54,000, yeah. And also, you know, the valve turning, which we need to review the F&B contract regarding. We have some questions.
Yes, ma'am. I have notes here. And then, yeah, preventative maintenance is the key, right? We don't want no emergencies. The valve turning, do we know, and this is probably a Brandon question, the last time that the valves have been turned
As needed.
as needed? That's what I was afraid of. So
Go through service.
I haven't been doing this that long, but if they haven't been turned in a long time, that's why that one's leaking. If we get,
This, I mean, yeah, we kind of went through this whole,
Okay.
this is kind of being pushed by the Eagle that this is part of what needs to happen. And granted, there's some older stuff in there that's a little bit scary. So,
right, I would just, yeah, I mean, it does need done, and once it's done, if you keep doing it, it will be, you know, it's preventative maintenance, that's what needs to be done, but we just may run into some that start leaking like that, just to be aware.
the,
Did you see that box that popped up on the screen?
Yeah, but it also just removed everybody from the screen, so that was really weird.
It is. You still there, Cole?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just keep,
There he is.
are you done or you got interrupted there? Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying that, just to be aware when we do that, you know, once we do it, that'll be great. Just, we keep on top of it and that it should be fine. But when we first go through, if they haven't been turned in a while, we could end up with more leaky valves.
Right.
Okay, can you see that? The
Yeah.
chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat box.
Yeah, so it's from Dave.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Nicole, just one second, this may,
For this.
it sounded like Pattinson wanted a response. So should this be LASA doesn't have specific recommendations for backflow preventer? Okay, so yeah, I think we'll let him know that. And Dave, you said, I think I heard about an odor complaint, just an FYI, Traverse City is currently in the middle of an odor abatement project, and you have a link to that. Dave, could you send that link through email to the operations committee, please?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh,
I'm actually up here now, and as it happens, our condo is sometimes downwind from the plant, so we're aware of it. And it's been interesting. Last few evenings, I've noticed more of a fabric softener smell, and I think they're using that. I'm gonna reach out to them and see. But I also know that obviously these can be issues during certain operations like sludge removal. The headworks is often a source, you know, so getting negative pressure on that. So there's some steps like that that can be taken to potentially not take care of it. You know, there's always going to be some times when there's some odor escaping, but you know, it comes and goes, right? And I'm sure it's the same with our plant.
could we just hang some air freshener along the fence? Okay.
It honestly smells like that's what they're implementing, and because I actually walked right by there the other day and caught a lot of that odor. And usually when you walk by, and this is the path that goes right around the lake, goes literally along their fence line, you can always smell a little bit of that wastewater plant smell. I know what it smells like, but and it was all like fabric softener.
That's really interesting.
So that was my clue.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, well,
I'll shoot the email.
Bubble gum and grape flavors are also popular scents for those up.
oh, I don't know.
gross.
Yeah. No.
It's kind of, yeah, like perfume over body odor, you
Right.
know?
So
Okay,
back on
oh, sure.
cleaning and televising. So were we looking at cleaning and televising this year, like a certain percentage of the system, starting that up
That
again?
was the quote that we got. and
Right.
We didn't act on it. I don't,
No.
did not act on it
Yeah.
at this
Still
point.
need to follow through on that. And you know, we really need to have a set process. Yeah, like this is how much we have to set aside or, to spend each year or how many feet or whatever. And then next year and whatnot, they has to be part of the capital improvement plan.
Yes.
And I think we made a note to include that at the time. Like, you don't have the budget and the capital improvement plan in front of us.
I think we included 25,000 for cleaning in the capital improvement plan.
Okay,
But the quote was twice as much, so then nothing happened, but nothing's happened, so. But that doesn't preclude it from, I mean, the July to July, right? So we're only a quarter of the way through the year so far, so.
Right, and then, if we get quotes from other companies, maybe they won't be as much, and then we'll have to look at how much they had quoted us for, like,
I
don't-
think we need to come up with a better, different way of doing it other than a fifth, like. maybe
Yeah,
more-
I mean,
more of a
you're
line
allowed-
item-
yeah, that-
More of a
that's-
line item type of situation.
Right.
So that we can kind of tailor it to get the scope down to where the budget is, right?
Right. Yeah, the guidelines are for 1/7 of the system, a year from the state, but, there's, so, we can, trim that down. And, and, well, if you don't have the budget for it, you don't have the budget for it, but there's ways to narrow it down.
Right. There's places that you should clean more often and places that you can get away with it less, right?
Yes.
I mean, so there's some of the newer subs probably don't need it as much as the older stuff, right? So-
Exactly.
Or if it's PVC, that
Right.
we don't need to do it once every 10 years.
so there is a map from before the 2023 or in 2018? It wasn't
Yeah. So they used to do it and, the old operator would basically highlight it on the map, hanging in the wastewater plant wall.
Yes, there is a map.
oh, great,
I don't know the exact dates that are on that, but there's different, it's color coded for different years of cleaning.
And then we did, like, when the SAW program happened in 16 or 17, we did a big chunk of it. Like the part that wasn't done the last couple of years, I think we did like 60% of it. I don't know what's been done since, but we have all that information captured.
so maybe we could start on, because if you're saying that all of it was done, but we have bits and pieces that.
It's all been done in the last 10 years or 10 years ago, I guess. So.
I guess the first thing is looking at, what are the priority areas to do? What needs to be done? Based on material, based on age, that kind of stuff, and utilizing that. Do we need to pare back how much we're doing based on our budget? Can our budget support more to raise it up, and getting several quotes for doing the actual work? Because you're talking about cleaning, TVing, and doing the reporting, so you can just look on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is, and then you keep files of that and you have all the reports, so. And then you put it in your GIS system.
Yeah, would we have to televise the whole every time, or is it just the spot for issues? Or do we do the,
We don't televise all the time, we just clean parts of the system.
I think it's-
Stuff, spot checks.
I think that I was gonna say the
Yeah.
same thing. I think at some point in time, it makes sense to clean and then spot check areas that are bad or whatever.
Right.
So.
And in Dexter, we pull manholes before we do sewer cleaning, and we have a set rotation. But also, after you check all the manholes, you find the places that, have suddenly appeared up in a problem, and you add that to the list, and then you go to, the section you're already gonna do, and maybe add a couple hot spots.
Okay.
And move it around.
Or if you got what could be old tile that's crumbling, you may want to TV it every year.
Yes, yeah,
But some of the old stuff or the other stuff that they're talking about that's PVC that's new, you probably don't have to do.
so the tile that's crumbling,
It's just old tile.
would we need to is it line it?
Okay, so
Got that right?
first of all, when I say tile that's crumbling, I'm speaking of in general terms, not that we have any, I don't know, because I haven't seen it, but if you have an older system, those are the ones that you have to clean more often or whatnot, so then you do actually need to see what their condition is.
Right.
And the bottom line is too, if you've got any kind of root infiltration, you do want a TV after you've cleaned it, to make sure it's clean.
Mhm.
Make sure it got everything, and your cleaning process can damage the pipe, so you gotta make sure it didn't do that.
So we would need to set money aside in case there's a damaged pipe. or-
Probably, yeah, if something comes up. I don't know about set it aside, but know that that's a possibility, just like anything. I mean, there could be an emergency situation that comes up, but. you
Yeah,
know,
I just don't wanna get into a situation where, we're. Our reserves, we keep pulling from our reserves because we haven't planned.
Sure.
And this is probably a conversation with Colleen, and our capital improvement plan and see where,
It
We
goes,
we should be starting to think about planning out, how to line the, or replace those clay lines.
Yes,
Eventually, that needs to be stuck in there.
Ryan, you were,
I was gonna say, Colleen touched on this, there's not,
So that's the.
over the next several
So that's the-
years, we're going to finally actually
So
build
basically you-
in contingency cost and capital planning costs.
they have videos.
Right now, we're
Yeah.
pulling from reserves in order to fund it, so. I mean, I agree, all this preventive maintenance needs to be done, but to figure out where the money's going.
mhm. Yeah, so I think we should still get a process in place for valve turning, cleaning and televising. At the same time, reviewing our budget and, even possibly maybe, I think we have it money invested.
They're gone though, I don't think they're.
Right, Ryan, or
Not much,
not much, okay.
Contractors using fans.
not much. $100,000 doesn't take long to go through this.
No, it doesn't.
I think it was 100, I think it was actually about 200, I think it's down to 125.
Okay,
Well, doing the TV and the cleaning is how we find out where we need to do that. So,
And there's other ways to check your sewer system, by just pulling manholes and looking in and lamping and, using mirrors to check, where the manholes are. And you can, in Dexter, we get different spots that we check different amount of times. Like down the alleys where the restaurants are, those manholes get checked quarterly.
Greece.
mhm.
Because of good oily grease. We got a couple of manholes that are by the river. When it rains, we're checking them. We, the regular manholes, we're checking once a year. There is one stretch of manholes that's along the railroad tracks that we don't check that much at all because it's next to the railroad tracks and nobody's gonna get backed up if something happens there. So that's a lower priority.
Now, how many manholes do we have?
It's a great question. I don't know the answer off the top of my head.
Okay, what? She know.
672, I don't know.
Oh, gosh, wouldn't be that much.
No, I wasn't.
No,
One for every home
right?
and a couple extra. So Cole, are you, I don't know, is there a plan, a manhole checking plan? I guess, is that the?
Man, I will ask Brandon, as far as I know right now, we do not check them on a certain basis unless there's an issue. So
Okay.
that's, I mean,
It was on the order of 270 of them,
Sorry,
207.
how many?
on the order of 270, I believe.
Did you hear that, Cole?
Yes, ma'am.
270.
Yeah, but it's 15 minutes to check a manhole. It's really not that hard,
Unless it's buried.
unless it's buried, yeah.
Okay. So we've got, couple of, projects, ongoing projects that need to be implemented. All right, I'll contact, Colleen as well, just to, yeah, we need to keep this, do our maintenance and whatnot, but keep it within budget, so we don't have to continuously, well, raise our rates even more than necessary. Okay,
Would you, excuse me, would you all mind if I depart at 2:30?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't, I don't think we have,
Thank you.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you.
And we'll let you know about the that operations meeting schedule, which, you know, we'll just keep it on Thursdays and if it's working for everybody, and then we'll let you know for next year.
Do you have, for them, do you have some suggestions for maintenance? For other maintenance companies to look at or no?
I sent Brandon C&E out of Highland. They do a lot of work for, Greg Harris. They do a lot of work for Hamburg Township and they're really well liked up there. So I sent them that guy. I know Lesser Brothers is pretty good. A lot of people use them.
Do you have a number for Midwestern maintenance?
I do.
They're
He's-
good as far as raising or doing manhole repairs.
Isn't he like the stormwater or the storm system guy?
He does a lot of those, yeah.
Okay.
We can ask our Brandon here at SIO too.
They do a lot of it with punch lists.
Yeah, he cleans up all the subdivisions after they leave it and clean up the detention basins and.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. They do a lot of manhole stuff.
Interesting. I guess that makes sense. It's kind of
Or
the same.
have, I guess, the
Yeah,
bigger.
ballpark, yeah.
Yeah,
So pretty
diversified
fast, too,
stuff,
right?
for us too, Ryan, Chime.
Pipeline management.
Let me answer this.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Ted,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the LASA operating committee, or first, that's the title, Northern Pump and Well Test and Recommendations. And Colt, you're gonna have to, I don't know if you read through this.
No, ma'am, just I talked to Brandon a little bit about it.
The well, gallons per minute. Basically matches up with, stuff was in Dave Navarre's files. The strongest one is still well 2 and the second strongest is well 3 and the weakest well is 1. So, that's the same pattern that, they found in their report.
Okay.
So those numbers are fairly, are
For consistent.
consistent.
Is there anything for alarm in there?
Well, not having a flow meter
The flow
not
meter,
working
yes,
is a deficiency on the sanitary survey. So,
right, that needs to be
so that
fixed.
needs to be fixed, which is why I was asking how much time there was before the next sanitary survey.
Okay.
And there's, the well one, the wellhead is severely corroded and recommended replacing the meter and the piping. Yeah, that could get pricing. But I haven't, there's no pictures, so I can't, I can't judge by this one page,
Mhm.
here.
I can make sure that you guys, I believe I have pictures on my phone. I thought those would get attached. I did send pictures, so I can make sure that you guys get those for the next.
Can you share a picture?
Oh, you're asking a lot now. Let's see here.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm trying to think there was, I checked. Email, let's see, seems like there was something else. Oh, Jeff, don't start yawning.
Get it, but sorry.
I'll be
Anyways,
yawning.
yeah, this was pretty brief, so it's kind of hard to say anything, from a one-page note.
There's definitely a good amount of corrosion, and some of that I think and probably take a wire wheel too and clean it up. A lot of it's just looks. I know that they said that I had to go back last week and get more pictures of the well 3 head because with the quote of replacing that meter, there is a piece of PVC in there that had got replaced at some point, and they're not comfortable working with that, which I really don't blame them. I don't know if it was a Band-Aid that just kind of stayed for a while and it's worked, so it stayed in there. But yeah, and then well 1, that I would put that, I mean, that would to me go on the end of the list because it just runs as a secondary lag of when the removal plant does its backwash and it can't keep up, that's the only time that that well will kick on. I think they said it does like 100 and something gallons a minute, so it's not. Well 3 is used daily.
Right.
Okay.
But I will put a note here and make sure you guys get those pictures.
Okay. How often do you paint piping? Probably don't know that question.
I don't either. I guess I just when it I just did it here at Leone the other day. Just when it, I mean, it's not so, some of it's for aesthetics, but I mean, anytime you put a paint on something, it will obviously prolong it and keep it from rusting. And
Right.
so,
Yeah, and are you regular paint or marine paint?
I'm not sure what type of paint. I didn't buy the paint. Can here at
Well,
Leone.
marine paint's harder, but it lasts longer.
Right. So yeah, that's, I wouldn't be able to give you that answer, but, I would say
Anyways,
probably,
we can
I would
talk
probably
about
say
painting
once a year or whenever it starts flaking or looking
Right.
good. It doesn't take.
Okay,
too
so
much.
that's regular paint, it's not marine paint. If you're doing it once a year.
Okay.
How much more is marine paint?
Marine paint, you have to remove all of the rust and then you're using an epoxy, combined epoxy to coat it. The epoxy coats last a lot longer, but it's much, but the preparation is a lot harder. It's one of those, if you're willing to slap a coat of paint on it once a year, that's fine, but if you.
It's a lot.
A lot easier, but but there are some certain things that you need a marine coat on. For the wastewater treatment plant, we just had a tank burn through the ferric chloride, burn through the epoxy coating, so we had to replace the epoxy coating. And but that it lasted, against ferric chloride for 7 years, so
Oh.
marine lasts a lot longer.
You ever seen like those movies of like World War II where they have people on the side of the boat scraping off the paint?
Yeah, that's.
Right, yes, and you have to remove all of the rust, and then the same day, you have to get that first coat down while there's no oxidation.
Wow.
And it's a lot more involved, but it does fix the job for longer. It's just a matter of, do you want to paint it once a year, or do you want to do this once and, not worry about it for like next 10 years?
Well,
And it tends to matter on how corrosive it is, like that one tank that interacts with ferric chloride, it was, it needed to be marine paint.
well, so maybe, yeah.
So it depends on what it's used for.
Well, maybe when we replace something that, and it's a newer pipe or whatever, and if we need to have, paint on it to use but not. it
Yeah,
doesn't have rust.
professional paint job, painting companies. That's the main reason why at Dexter, we go through every couple of years and have our professional paint job company do it to get the marine paint so it lasts longer.
So do we need to push this invoice to the regular board? Or has it already been handled? The northern.
I believe that
Well,
we, wasn't that in the last
I don't remember.
do you have your board package?
Yes, I do.
Oh, great. Cause there was a whole bunch of, thank you.
There was a few. I just didn't know if we needed to do that or not. I mean, it's regular maintenance.
Yeah. I'm here. Yep, we've already paid it.
Okay,
That is right here in,
okay.
9:15, yes, so we're good on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I guess the question is, when we're talking about well one, that it's gonna need work or for the wellhead, right? Because of corrosion.
Right.
Do we have a cost for that we can schedule or that we can look at?
Brandon mentioned one quote, I think he had one so far.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So, and he was looking for more,
That's just information.
right?
so yeah, but was that quote, the one, what was that,
Well, three was he said 19,000 for replacement.
but that's the flow meter?
That's for
Well,
the for replacing flow meter.
Okay,
I was talking about
somebody
the
else.
wellhead from well one.
yeah,
And for Brawlhead, yeah, he didn't mention what the price was for that.
yeah, I didn't think so.
I'm just saying, that's a cost we're gonna have coming, so
Yeah.
sooner or later, we're gonna have to do it.
All right, talk with Brandon about that
Yep,
later.
get a cost, let's get it on the agenda or get it in the budget for next time. It hasn't failed, so,
Yeah,
right.
All right, new business, let's see. The 2026 operations meeting schedule. So,
Sorry.
stop it. I am so tired. I'm trying to stay as energetic as possible. You keep yawning. This is, which Thursday are we? Is this the second or third?
second Thursday of the month.
Yeah, this is the second Thursday.
Dude, how is that for everybody, the second? Shoot, how would
I think second Thursday usually works for me.
The second Thursday of every month.
what I mean?
Well, that would mean if it's a second Wednesday of the month is LAIA, so that would be, right after the LAIA meeting,
Oh,
if you do it that way.
Second
Do
Thursday.
we want it before the after the LAIA meeting, not LASA meeting?
Not the last.
Okay.
Last
yeah,
meeting isn't scheduled yet
right.
for next year.
I think it's good.
Second Thursday works, there's no holidays.
Yeah.
All right, so could we have, we go through, could you just give me the second Thursday of beginning in July and I'll get that over to,
Beginning in July.
or
January.
January.
Okay,
That's
just
right.
was making sure. January 8th,
Okay.
February 12th,
Mhm.
March 12th,
All right,
April 9th,
okay,
May 14th,
all right,
June 11th,
great,
July 9th,
okay,
August 13th,
Mhm.
September 10th,
okay,
October 8th,
all right.
November 12th, and December 10th.
Okay, that's great, LASA, and at 1 o'clock,
I think that works.
and Mike and Dave, that's good for you as well?
Yes, that works for me.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Wonderful, thank you. Christie. All right,
Said 1 o'clock, correct?
1 o'clock, yeah. And we talked about the manholes already, so we can move on. Lead and copper testing protocol, so this is, I know that the Eagle has, standards that you have to follow, but this is more about, I think, and we talked about it a little bit already, education, getting the information out, maybe before the lead and copper testing begins. That, I know there's certain homes that are part of the program or whatever, but just to educate everybody, maybe that can go into the bill, like we're getting ready for lead and copper and remember these, different aspects, so people are prepared, because, we go about our lives and we don't think about it until it happens,
Mhm.
and just to kind of get away from the shock that if, oh my gosh, here it is again, my test came back high, and, they'll already have that information. Of course, we can only provide information. We can't force anybody to read it.
Right.
But if we could do everything on our end and make our job easier, I think that would be helpful.
I have a question. Sorry. You guys have a website? Is that
There's
something?
three different ones.
Okay, is that something we could put on there? I was just thinking about this earlier, because I really grinded out trying to get samples and I think a lot of the time, the people that I spoke with and I could get a face-to-face with, I think a lot of the time people don't know how to bypass their softener. Whether it's
Oh.
having a couple hours at the plant where I set a meeting and I have softeners there and show people, or if it's something we could put on the website. Just basic information. I think it would be a lot easier, in my experience from just doing it up there. If you give people more information, they're more inclined to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea to have.
The Eagle has a 4-page sampling program, 4-page sampling protocol that has just one, water softener bypass thing. And there's like a half dozen,
Yeah.
there's a ton of different designs out there.
Yeah, I ended up going into a lot of basements and
Right,
just,
yeah, and
you know,
some of them even aren't on the water softener. They're actually on the tree. They're not, they're on the plumbing. They're not on the water
Correct.
softener at all. So they're quite, but it's one of those things that it's in the plumbing code that you have to have a bypass, but it doesn't say what kind of bypass it is.
Yeah.
So they're all
They're all
different.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I also wonder if this could be an opportunity. Does LAIA have a like next door or a thing that can be utilized that we could do in
They have a
conjunction?
Facebook page and there is Nextdoor. I don't interact with Nextdoor.
Okay, I'm just wondering if that's another way of, like when Colt wants to go out, they're gonna do some testing and, I mean, I assume you're leaving like door knockers or putting stuff in mailboxes.
yes, sir. I usually just leave a sample bottle on the porch with the instructions rubber band
Okay.
around it.
Yeah, I just don't know that it would hurt if we had something like that, that maybe we could still reach out and.
And
get that.
Dexter, I have a list of people I call every year and say, how are you doing this year? Can I take or will you do a bottle for me? And then I hand him a bottle afterwards. So I'm not wasting bottles because the way you're doing it, you're wasting a lot of bottles because they're not responding.
Yeah, and a lot of man hours, absolutely. But now that I have a set of people that gave them back, technically you can take them from those same, per the plan, you can take them from those same 10 people every year and
Yeah, well, if
keep the
you're lucky.
right.
Yeah,
I have a list of 60 people and Dexter that I'm getting 20 from.
Yeah.
Cause people have lives and,
No, I get
they're
it.
not necessarily around, or they've done work in their house and then they can't do sampling for you this year.
Yeah.
Colt, when do you begin the water sampling?
June
It's June through September 30th.
Yep, through September 30th.
Okay, so maybe that's, I'm assuming June 1st? Or
Yes,
is it,
ma'am.
Yeah.
so maybe in May, start preparing, if you want to have a little training or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful. And you said that you have a list of 60, Andrea. for
And
you.
Dexter, we have a list of 60 to get down to get 20.
And how many do you have?
Oh, I have it here on the computer.
Is it 100 it's like 200, isn't it?
Copper. Give me one moment, please.
Sure.
I know Brandon stuck every, before 1988 house in the copper sample plan, but that doesn't mean that people actually want to do it. They're just on the list.
35 times.
Yeah.
I just wonder if you could get emails from those residents and do an email blast.
For tier 3, it looks like 107.
Oh, 107?
Yes, on tier 3.
Okay. Tier 3 means it's covered before 1988.
Oh, okay, and how many respond out of the 107?
I ended up with 23.
20%.
Okay,
Yeah, well, it's getting tough. It's tough to get people to answer their phones.
If they have a, like, they don't have home phones anymore.
mhm.
That's why I said do an email blast or a text group that might be better.
Yeah, it can go on Nextdoor. There's Nextdoor for lockout line.
And do you have email addresses for the homeowners that have sampled? Or is it just their address and phone number?
Just their address and phone. Sometimes I don't have phone number. I'm trying to work. I was talking to Brandon. Same with the work orders. Some of the work orders don't have contact, so it's just door knock, and if they're home, I can contact them. But there's someone. I believe there's a way. I'm just getting to that part of the list where I need to get contact information.
Michael has some on the lasawater.org.
Okay.
Has a contact directory, sign up page, but a lot of people that hasn't been very popular.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's why
Doesn't
some of
have
them.
any
are missing.
signups.
I'm just wondering if we look at an alternative to try to, something that makes this easier. You know, that to get notification out there, to get people to do it, that kind of thing. And
What we do internally is when we have people move in or move out, obviously new move in people, we collect phone number, email address. And that way we have all that information, but if they've lived there for 2, 3, 5, 10 years. Or longer, then we don't have it, but that doesn't mean we can't insert something into the bill saying, hey, we need this information from you. It'll have some uptake, probably won't have a ton, but at least might help. And we can also have Michael do it when he does move-ins, entering it into BSNA. And then when they need it, it's just a matter of either giving them access or just pulling a report and being like, here you go, here's all these addresses and contact info.
the problem, I mean, the problem is, especially when you have specific contact info, is maintaining it.
Yeah.
Cause emails change, phone numbers change. Some people don't even, depends on who the person is. Some people don't use email.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but it happens. There are people that don't use email or don't use Facebook or don't use, some of the other stuff. So they may not have those things as a contact thing. So it's hard to say.
Okay.
It's a big thing on how to reach out.
Don't we have that a lot of that info already? When we went to automated billing, I don't recall if it seems like I might have had to fill in a field that gave my email address to.
When you signed up for the automatic deduction from your checking account?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be in there.
Probably was on that form, which if it was on that form, it should be within the BSNA software that we use to bill customers.
Right, but not everybody is on ACH. It's like 200 out of 535.
So like
535.
40-ish%.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
not
the
everybody.
percentage was that low. I thought maybe the percentage of ACH was higher than that.
Yeah.
Well, we can just glean what we can find.
Right. Think about it. Think about what ways that might be better. Colt, if you can come up with anything, think about what might be easier, what you see might be work or what might work. Flyers going out to these people during billing or whatnot, something like that. It would be helpful. And then maybe we can make it easier for you, that we don't have to do that. We'll have people you can reach out to or that'll contact you.
Yes, sir. That'd be great. We will definitely work on something. Whether, like I said, whether it's just having a seminar where I'm there for a couple hours and if and sending out flyers, I think we can definitely make it easier. Because I think some of the samples we got back, that's why we had to get so many. People were taking them the incorrect way, and then it would show. They would show higher levels, so we ended up having to get more. So just some education and even a face-to-face. That's how I got probably the last 15 samples, is just like I said, talking to people and It's different when there's just a bottle on your doorstep. You're like, there's no connection.
The bottle of the doorstep's easy to ignore.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. If there's just a bottle there,
It's a
but
your
if
example.
someone knocks on my door and I talk to them and I'm tell them I'm gonna do it, I feel more connection, like, oh,
Right.
so.
No, I agree, but, and the bottom line, having a list is good, but I mean, houses change ownership. And so the willingness to do it may change. There may be somebody that moves in that's like, hey, yeah, I want to get it tested to make sure I don't have lead in here. You know, I mean, that concern could be there and they're not on the list, but they may work with you. So that's
I've
why
had some
we got.
people who exchanged ownership back in the nineties that, the former owners did it religiously, then I got a new owner and the aughts, and they're not interested, and now and then I got calls from those owners back in the nineties saying, can I be on the lead and copper list again? 20 years after they
Right.
got off.
So, I mean, that's the thing, like, hey, we could send out something every year, like saying, if you wanna be, we're looking for people to be on the lead and copper list to come and test at
It's
your
gonna have to be
house.
targeted to the tier 3, because
Yep.
I got notification from the state of Michigan, for Dexter saying you concentrate on the tier 3s.
But if we know who the tier 3s are, we know what those addresses are, we could easily get a mailer or something or whatever. If it goes to their, if it's a bill or whatever, it goes to their property, we get it out to them. And we could do that yearly.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
So it's not that much to do that kind of thing and get it out there. I mean, anytime you send out any kind of thing like that, you said you got 20% response, 20%'s actually good for any kind of
Yes,
survey or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And,
it actually is.
to just kind of keep it front and center with people. And people are worried about lead. I mean, honestly, after the Flint thing and, what's going on, that they hear lead and it's a bad thing. So some people want to know.
Michael,
Do they want to know every year? Probably not, but
Right.
I mean, the fact is, I'm sure that the first time we do it, we'll get people that come out that say, yes, I want this. So. Anyways. I just think we can make it better.
okay, Michael, he's gonna log in.
Tell him he's too late.
Well, we have a little bit of time here. Are we good with this conversation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't miss anything when I
Thanks,
was down.
Cole.
Yeah, thank you. We have two more, so we have the operations committee duties
And
and,
backup policies and protocols.
yeah, and Andrea and I met to review the duties, so we just kind of put things together, based on different things we were looking at and some recommendations. And then the sewer backup policies and protocols, Jeff and I met and Jeff, so I typed up, what, based on other municipalities and what we reviewed, we landed on, I think a couple that we merged, I think, we were looking at a lot. And then I typed it up as if it was LASA.
There were a
replacements.
couple of townships in your document.
Okay, so we need to remove those, but also there's some things that are in red that I had questions about or didn't know what to put in, so we can review that. And I know these are two big meaty agenda items.
So that being said, did Matt Jane look at this yet?
No, because I did talk with him about it and I
Yeah.
said the operations needs to go through it for any typos or possible changes. And when we're good with it, we'll send it to him. And then he'll, of course, give us feedback and then we'll send it to the board.
So that being said, I just want to say that when we looked around, the notice of claim that we have on the front page, this is kind of generic for
Yes, it is generic.
almost every place.
Yep.
And I honestly don't know where the original came from in this, but
It comes from the law. I mean, the law states what has to be in.
no, but even the layout of this was similar in
All of
multiple.
them.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, back in 2000 and right after the law got passed, SEMCOG did these classes, and they had generic sheets that everybody, basically, you know, everybody kind of drew from.
Yeah, so just following along the lines, that was what we looked at and said, this is the generic sheet. It covers what's supposed to be recorded. And then the rest of this is, I mean, you look at getting specific information about properties, some of the information that was just, informational for people to look at, what's the notice of claim, why, et cetera, and how this is all handled, and then looking at who, one of the things that I don't see Jillian put on here,
What was that?
when we talked about like a tree, like an if-then kind of tree, like something happens, this is the organizational chart that it should follow.
You're right, and I,
Yep, and that's one of the things that we had talked about doing.
On page 38, and, number 4, there's a township, it mentions the township instead of LASA.
Yep.
And on page 39, what actions did the township take? It should be LASA.
I'm sorry, you went too fast.
Sorry, 38, number 4, there's a mention of township, you know, on the last,
Okay.
on the 3rd row, and on 39, what action, under employee names, there's a mention about township. And also at the bottom, there's
Yeah,
also a
township
mention,
board.
township board of trustees determines what the township is responsible
Township.
at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And if the township, employee arranges for cleanup.
Gosh, I swear I changed.
And there's
it.
stuff at the top, the date and the time township was contacted.
Right.
Yeah, you know what, I think I uploaded the wrong one, cause I remember changing all of that.
So do we want to wait for you to give us the proper one?
Yes, I will
Yeah.
make those changes. Now, there are something, if you go back to page 38 in red,
Okay.
I was, upon receipt of the initial report of a sewage backup,
Yes,
yeah,
I had that underlined.
the operator shall respond to the call, inspect the site, and fill out the sewer backup form, and submit to the LASA chair within 48 hours of responding. The inspection and reported damage shall be conducted by the LASA staff to determine the cause of sewage backup and equipment failure. So that's where I was a little, it seemed like there was things that were just kind of all smushed together.
You're assuming your staff can figure it out.
Yeah, you're assuming our staff can do it, and that's not, and when we say LASA staff, that's,
You might end up with a contractor
Well, yeah,
having to
that's,
do it.
that's,
right.
okay, so if
I
you,
mean, a different contractor.
correct, so should it
From F
be
and V.
LASA?
LASA agent, well, there's different ways to say it. LASA agent or signee is the legal way you could say it.
So the bottom line though with this is, and as we've looked at, the determination of cause.
And you're assuming you can find out the cause.
Right. Right, so it could be, you know, you're looking at. What is the backup? Is it on our line? Is it on their line? That's really what this is. This isn't a claim investigation. This is remedying the situation or trying to and saying if there's an issue, what's the cause? How can it be fixed on our end?
So what do you want there? What do you want for
It's
number
a
2?
good question. I don't know.
Could we, take this back with,
I
you know,
can
and then
compare it with
just kind of,
sectors.
yeah, review it and just read from the beginning, and then try to think of, like, if you went through that process, you know, there's an actual event. And how would LASA handle it? And then, of course, the wording, because you're right, we don't have LASA staff, but whomever LASA uses to take care of this, if we have an operator, I guess, the operator, because,
But he's still a contractor.
yeah, but it's still an operator.
Right.
Even if we had our own, you know, hired our own, it would still be an operator, right?
No, operator is a specific term.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right, you come up with the term, so that everybody understands, and we may even have some definitions,
Okay.
if we need to.
Well, there are, you know, you got, you know, backer operators and stuff, but, you know, a sewer operator is still a different definition from a backer operator.
Yeah, this sewer backup form.
Oh, this is just internal though.
it's still, there's stuff on here, it just has to go.
Okay, go ahead. What do
Well,
you,
the last two things, I mean, even though it had township,
Oh.
those things,
yeah, take out the cleanup. Actually, I swear I removed this whole, please remind
well, like
me.
I said, you probably,
Upload, okay, but anyway, if the township board determines that the township is responsible, the property. will
right,
be reversed. Now remember, this is just, the sewer backup report form is just the internal for us. It doesn't go to anybody and it goes into the file or whatever. Whichever home that had the issue.
yeah,
I
but
guess.
that's not the procedure that's handled anymore,
Oh,
especially
it's-
that last line.
Okay, yeah, cause that's always,
Not with us, that's not how it's handled.
okay. Do not arrange for services from repair and or cleanup companies. Yeah, so we wouldn't be arranging that for the homeowner, they would.
Right, this whole thing, I'm sure Matt is gonna look at this.
The last, I was gonna say the last like 4 sentences.
Yeah, that's, I
Oh.
mean, that, those are all suspect on what we should do.
I just wiped them all.
And does anybody use yellow pages anymore?
No, this is really, I wonder, where did this one come from, Jillian? I don't remember seeing this.
Was this M-Hogs?
Could have been, because we looked at 4 or 5.
Yeah, and we looked at a bunch of stuff.
But this, yeah, and this
I mean,
is just for us to keep track of internally.
Right,
So whatever we want in there, and I don't know if, F&B, but we lost the board needs to have a copy of whatever the event is, something like this, and have kind of a report.
yes,
However that report is, I don't care,
right,
just as long as we have it for ourselves. The guidelines for homeowners, that was in a couple of different places, and I read through and I thought, it's not, we're not telling them what to do, and this actually came from, a health department somewhere. It was in Michigan, Southeast Michigan, but I thought, well, this is helpful because they may not know what to do, and it's just
right. And again, we don't know what Matt's gonna come back and
Sure.
say.
Can I make a quick comment?
Yes.
I'm back on policies and procedures in the red text. After LASA, what if we say LASA appointed and whether the next term is operator or whatever? Then we're not saying it's actually a LASA employee, but it's an appointed contractor or operator or whatever the correct term would be.
Which one are you on?
I'm on the
38.
policies and procedures to
Okay,
38.
conducted by the LASA appointed, and then whatever the correct term is, contractor or operator.
well, we can always use contractor because we don't,
Contractor is pretty, pretty generic.
yeah, and
Yeah,
we're
okay.
not at this point hiring a full-time in-house, so it would,
By a contractor.
okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
appointed, yeah, LASA appointed contractor.
do anyway. Government likes to use agent.
Well, is that what we should do?
It's just that there's a bunch of different ways to word it, so, yeah, I mean, it's,
Okay, well, you just let me know and put it in there. And how about this? Read through it again and then email, the chair so I can take your suggestions and put it in. And then after I have it, drafted again, I'll send it out and then we'll have enough time to review it.
Right.
I just want it to be as complete as possible before it goes to legal, because
Yep.
that'll cost less. All right, and then the operations, duties. This is for the operations committee duties, and we think we talked about this the last time, but,
At the board meeting, we talked about it at the board meeting.
yes, and then we were assigned to create a list, but of course, the operations committee should be looking at this first before it goes to the board for final approval.
Right, then I made this kind of generic.
Yeah, this is gonna take a while. I have a hard stop. I have another meeting at 3
Yeah.
o'clock.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, yeah, so take this
Okay.
with you and then we can, at the next.
I think it's I think you've done a great job of briefing it, but yeah, I wanna digest it
Yeah,
more.
please.
Okay,
Okay, and Michael has joined us, so Colt, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is, we have some questions for Michael.